Hi, I'm in Tucson, Arizona, where I've just finished coating a 1998 Overland Laredo motorhome with liquid roof. It's the first time I've used the product. I ordered the material on a Monday. It arrived on a Friday, so it came very quickly. I chose to do it here in this RV park as opposed to where I live in Boston, Massachusetts, since I have trees overhanging the driveway and it makes it difficult to do this kind of project without getting debris on the roof. So anyhow, I decided to try it here in a motorhome park while I'm here for a few weeks, and overall it worked out well. I had acquired this motorhome about 3 years ago. I'm the fourth owner, and the roof, I'm sure, has a history if it could talk, but it's worn and needed some attention, and it had quite a few repairs on it. So I decided it was time to do something proactive, and this product looked like the best material I could find online to achieve that goal. So the prep time was about 10 hours. The material installation time was about 6 hours. I did it as a one-man project, and it's certainly doable as a one-person project. It might have been nice to have a second set of hands at time, but the logistics of working up on top of a motorhome where there isn't a lot of area probably makes it best just to have one person up there in any case. I did have a few lessons learned from my experience. The instructions were very good that are provided by the EPDM coatings company, and there are a lot of good videos. I did watch quite a few videos on the YouTube and learned some good information by doing that, and I just wanted to share a few lessons learned. What did work well for me is cutting in around the edges and corners. I used a 1-quart coffee can. I transferred using a plastic cup material into the quart can, and then spread it with a 1.5-inch tapered brush. I would recommend that approach. I tried using some of it out of the bucket. That didn't work so well, so I would suggest not trying to take material out of at least a 4 or 5 gallon bucket with a paintbrush to paint. Much better and easier to use in a quart can. Another thing, they say to use a squeegee to spread the material, and they recommend one with a handle. This is the one I bought. It's way too large. You might find a smaller one, but I think for doing a motorhome, you're much better off with a little handheld squeegee. I also had one of these, and that's all I used. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend this unless you have large open spaces on a motorhome, but I haven't seen that on any that I've seen. Okay. Lastly, in the instructions, it tells you to basically spread out 2 gallons of material over about 82 square feet, and use that as your gauge for the spreading rate. Unfortunately, on a motorhome, you have to start at the front and work to the back, and it's pretty narrow. And trying to use that approach and estimate out of a 5-gallon bucket did not work out well for me. So my suggestion is, if you're going to do this project, is try and find yourself about a 2-quart saucepan, and use that as a scoop. Mark on your motorhome what the equivalent of 21 square feet is, which is probably somewhere between every 2 to 2.5 feet along the motorhome, and then ladle out 2 quarts, squeegee it around, and roll it out. I think you'll get a much more even coating than I did. So those are my suggestions. I didn't order enough of the butyl rubber tape. I didn't realize how many things I needed to repair, and that was something I had to compensate for, since I didn't have time to order more butyl tape. But you might want to plan a little better than I did. I also didn't get the fiberglass. I didn't read the instructions well enough when I ordered the material, and I was kind of limited on time, so I just put the butyl tape on without the I guess it's polyester fabric on top. But that seemed to work out all right. Also, another little tip on cutting that butyl rubber tape. It can be difficult with scissors. Make sure you have a new pair of scissors with sharp blades. And if you take paint thinner or mineral spirits and clean the blades every time you make a cut, you'll find it's much easier to cut. Otherwise, the tape does tend to stick to the scissors and kind of curls up and makes a mess as you try and get it off. So that's what I learned, but overall I consider the project a success. I'm happy with the product. It looks durable, and hopeful that it'll last a long time. This is the completed motorhome roof after applying the liquid roof. As you can see, it comes out nice and white and shiny. I have not put all the covers back on the roof yet, but I'm going to wait another day or two so that the rubber gets nice and dry. It's been on for a day and a half now, and it's drying nicely. It feels dry to the touch. It does have a little bit of bubbles here and there, but supposedly that swelling is supposed to subside, and the bubbles should go away in it says 7 to 14 days. So it certainly looks a lot better than when I started, and I'm hopeful this product will last at least 10, if not 20 years.